Hey, my name's Morgan and I'm from Niagara Falls, Canada, and you're watching As Said by Me.
Yes, Lord.
Okay, so the big day was coming up. I'm gonna break this whole thing down.
On how Said planned the best proposal of all time.
Oh, thank you, sweetie pie.
I deserved it. Alright, I'm gonna let you talk about this.
Okay.
Because I wasn't involved in the planning.
Okay, so like I said in the last video, my rookie year was one of the toughest years in my entire life because of all the things that are going on with being in the NFL and really understanding how the NFL works, the business. It's not what people think it is. It's a completely different experience. So anyways, during the process of my rookie year, this is again one of the hardest times in me and Charlotte's lives. As we were going through that year, we were getting really strong in our faith and really getting strong with each other. And I'm like, yo, I think I'm ready to marry this girl. So I started to plan a proposal my rookie year. And I actually have one funny story. So I will always plan stuff for Charlotte. Like, I'm not a big event planner, but when I have like a anniversary or a big thing, I like really take into heart how I plan it. So before camp, my rookie year in Miami, I planned a trip for us to the Florida Keys. And we had a great time with a few days. And Charlotte thought that I was gonna propose to her when we were in the Keys, and I had not proposed in my mind at all when I was there. I was like, I'm gonna have a good time in the Keys, and have a few days to get away before the grind of camp comes. So we go to the Keys, have a good time, and we're driving back from the Keys, and Charlotte was like, is that it? And I was like, is what it? She's like, that's what the trip was about? And I was like, yeah, like we were just going to get away from camp. And she's like, oh. And then we're driving and she looks out the window and I'm sitting there like, what the heck wrong with her? We just had a good time. And it just dawned on me. I'm like, dog, she thought I was gonna propose. And I looked at her, I was like, did you think I was gonna propose? And then she like looks out the window and like starts kind of getting teary-eyed. I'm like, oh my God, bro. Did I just like set myself up for failure? Like, did I do all this elaborate stuff and didn't like put the cherry on top? But we talked about, that, but the Keys were great. I took her to a butterfly resort. Butterflies are big in Charlotte's family with, Maddie, her sister who passed away. We did a lot of dancing. We went out and had a good time, rode mopeds around the island. It was fun. It was truly a great experience. So we're getting towards like the middle of the season and I'm starting to plan this proposal. And when I planned this proposal, I told myself that I'm gonna make this the best proposal that anybody has ever seen because this woman truly does deserve it. I knew with the proposal, I knew that I wanted it to be in Minneapolis. I knew I wanted it to be at a place that was monumental to the city. And I wanted to hit all the things that were important, which were asking all her family for their permission to marry her, to get Charlotte the exact ring that she wanted, the cut, the size, all that stuff. So every little detail that I put into the proposal, it took a lot of thought. I was planning this when I was at home. I was planning this and thinking about it, when I was in the facility, when we had free time to, get in the cold tub or get in the hot tubs or stretch. I was thinking about the proposal and what I was gonna do. So when I was in Miami, I ended up getting the ring together. I got the ring sent to Miami from Minneapolis. I had the place where I wanted to propose. I had everything ready to go. And I was planning on proposing at the end of the year, but then I ended up signing with the Patriots. So my proposal date was delayed because when I was with the Patriots, we went to the playoffs and we played the Chiefs in the first round, beat the Chiefs, and then we went to play the Broncos in the AFC Championship, and we lost. So we go the next day, have our meetings, we have our exit meetings, and then we fly home and to get ready for the next season. And I re-signed with the Patriots, so I went with them the following year. So I get back to Minneapolis and I go to the venue where I want to propose. I meet the guy who made the ring for me. I did all these things. I wanted to do something even more special for the ring. So I talked to a woman on Etsy and she got this ring box made exactly how I needed it because what was going inside the ring box. I chose the kind of glass I wanted on the top, the glass on the sides, the kind of metal I wanted. I chose everything for this ring box. And I needed the ring box to be a rectangular shape because what was going to be holding the ring. So like I guys told you, when me and Charlotte were in Florida when I was training for the pro day, we were going through a really rough time. And I told you guys we would always go to the beach to kind of get away from our thoughts and connect with each other. And one thing about Charlotte is when she goes to the beach, she loves looking for seashells. And we're going around looking for seashells and we don't find any. So I kind of give up and I'm sitting in the sand and I'm literally just like have my hand in the sand and I'm like rubbing the sand for no reason. I dig my hand in there and I pull up this seashell and it is this perfectly rounded, no cuts, no flaws, perfect seashell. And I'm like, oh my God, Charlotte, look what I found. The way that I found the seashell was just so crazy. I wasn't even looking for it. And to us right there, that was a sign from God saying, don't look for things. Just take your time and trust in me in this process of this, this thing that you guys are going through. So when I was thinking about the proposal, I said I had to incorporate this seashell some kind of way. So what I did is I talked to another person on Etsy to get a ring holder put inside of the shell. And that's what I used to hold the ring. Inside the ring box and with the shell and with the ring, I wanted something special to be holding it. And as you guys know from videos in the past, Charlotte keeps all the flowers that we've had since I met her 17 years ago. They're up here on our wall in our dining room. She keeps every single flower from Mother's Day to our first Valentine's Day, everything. So what I had hold the shell was flowers from when I gave her first Valentine's flowers when we weren't even dating yet. So I put those flowers in there to hold the shell and the ring up when I proposed to her. So yeah, those are like the really big things when it came to me proposing to Charlotte. I knew that I wanted to ask all her family for their permission. I was gonna go over the moon and back to get yes from everybody, and me and Tyler had a short limited amount of time to ask everybody in one day, but you guys will see that in a few days when you see the proposal video. And I knew that I wanted the whole thing to be filmed so I can have this memory with us forever. And I hired a guy named Tyler whose YouTube name is Track Tyler. I'm sure a lot of you guys know him, and I hired him to come and film this whole thing for me. Tyler came out and we planned where I'm gonna ask her family, where I'm gonna be proposing, when to like set up the whole stage in the Music City Museum. We did the whole thing, we scouted the whole thing out. Now speaking of the Music City Museum, the Music City Museum is where I proposed to Charlotte at. And I chose this place because it is like the foundation of how Minneapolis got its name. And it looked over the Mississippi River, it had this great view, and I was like, yo, this is where I wanna propose. And another big thing is I wanted to have a live singer there singing a song that I chose for Charlotte and myself that reflected on our relationship and everything that we were going through. And I didn't want to choose a very popular song. I wanted to choose something that was low-key, that a lot of people didn't know about, so it was more special for me and Charlotte. And there's a singer out here who's a famous Vine singer when Vine was popular, named Dustin. And Dustin is an awesome guy, and he like took the proposal to another level.
Like as we're waiting for her to come in, Are you guys gonna be like even near me, really? Or are you gonna be at that point?
We're gonna be near you. We're gonna,
okay.
Because like, you're literally like you're down the hall, but you're not that far away.
Okay, so it wouldn't be. I was just.
Everything with this proposal was very elaborate. I put a lot of thought into it. I knew that the way Charlotte wanted her ring was very special. The way she wanted it made, the way it should be cut, the cut of the diamond. She wanted to make sure that the diamond was conflict free, and I took all these things into account.